We are live. I'm not entirely sure why we're still not live on TikTok. It's an issue with Streamlabs and TikTok, apparently a technical glitch, so nothing that I'm doing wrong. But hey, yo, there you go. That's what I know so far. But Preston, Aston Villa, we're up and running. Big game. There's already been a penalty appeal in this one, by the way. There's already been a penalty appeal for Preston early doors. I'm not entirely sure it was a penalty for what it's worth. Looked a little bit like it would have been a soft one. But, again, good to see Preston pushing high. Aston Villa overwhelming favourites for this one, you'd have to say. I think that's reasonable, that's fair to say. Aston Villa, you know, quarterfinals of the Champions League. They are absolutely favourites to win this one. With the bookies, I think it's... we just make sure that we're all set up on the old Streamlabs for our scoreboard. Scoreboard is a little bit off. We need to move that forward a touch. Right, and we're all synced up now. We're all synced up. There you go. Right, we're off. We're up and running. Thank God for that. Let me move my mic back into position so you can hear me a little bit better. Straight behind from Luca Dean. That's poor. That's really poor. So we had some big surprises last night, obviously, didn't we? We had big surprises last night in Palace going to Fulham and getting a big win there. I thought that was a really good performance from Palace, actually. And then we also had, later in the day, I mean, it wasn't a great game, Brighton against Nottingham Forest. Forest going through on penalties, which, again, big surprise. Bucky's favourites, again, was overwhelmingly Brighton in that one. You could get 3-1 for Nottingham Forest to qualify yesterday before the game, which I thought was big odds. I was very tempted to back them. I didn't in the end, but Forest going through on penalties. So we've got Forest, we've got Palace through to FA Cup semi-final as it stands. We've got Preston, Villa, Bournemouth and City. Who are the other two that's going to make it? I mean, I'd really like City to go out, just so then we've definitely got a completely new FA Cup winner. You know, I'd love that. I think there's a few... Oh, I tell you what, Emiliano Martinez just went to throw the ball out. He throws it out. And I think it hits, is it Reece? I mean, it's a little bit... I guess it's a bit like what... Well, it's not quite what Karius did against Benzema in the Champions League final, but, you know, it's not far off that. He goes to roll it out, it hits a Preston player, rolls out and a Preston player lobs him, puts it in the net. I mean, part of me thinks that should have stood, really. But the ref did blow up. As soon as it happened, even before the Preston player tried the lob, the ref had blown. So as soon as the ref blows his whistle, that's it done. There are about 200 balloons still on the Preston pitch. Villa with a chance. Oh, there's a claim. It's a free kick to Preston. It was Morgan Rogers who went for it there. Right, let me just have a quick check and see if my stream is working. Yeah. Just wanted to make sure my audio's working. Oh, goodness gracious me. Let me just have a quick check of the old Aston Villa lineup, actually, because I've not seen that yet. So, right, Preston have got Cornell, 34-year-old David Cornell in goal. Jordan Story, Lewis Gibson. Is he ex-Everton, Lewis Gibson? I thought he was. Lewis Gibson, Andrew Hughes. Midfield, Robbie Brady. We know Robbie Brady. Stefan Thadarsson. Benjamin Whiteman. Mads Frokja Jensen. And Jaden Magoma, who I know is on loan from... Is it on loan from Brentford? Yeah. And then up front, it's Emil Rees, who has been somewhat prolific this season. Not quite reached the heights of his season a couple of years ago, but he's getting there. Aston Villa just on the counter-attack there, put behind for a corner by Hughes. Yeah, Rees and Will Keane up front, ex-Man United and ex-Wigan. Will Keane. He's bounced around a bit, hasn't he, Will Keane? And United, I keep saying United just because I saw Rashford in the team. Aston Villa have gone for a very attacking lineup. They've got Rashford, Asensio, Rodgers and Ramsey as their kind of front four. Rashford playing as a centre forward, that's an unusual one. Tielemans and Kamara sitting. Digne, Mings, Konza, Cash, Martinez. So they've gone full strength, Villa. Absolutely full strength. There's still some players missing, you'd have to say, in that Villa lineup. Obviously, John McGinn. Amadou Onana as well is on the bench. Preston flying forward here. Might be a corner. Nah, they give a free kick. Oh... something tells me this one's going to be a tight and cagey one. Of all the games this weekend, of all the FA Cup games, this is the one that I was kind of least looking forward to. And the only reason I say that is because I get the feeling that Preston are going to... And they haven't so far, so this is not a dig at Preston. I got the feeling that Preston were going to sit quite deep and be quite compact, and I guess a little bit of what we've seen in both of the games yesterday. The team's just kind of condensing that midfield area, not an awful lot of room between the midfield and the defence, and not taking an awful lot of risks going forward. And when you see teams set up like that, it just seems to stifle. I hate Pep Guardiola. He has just ruined football. I just prefer teams to take a little bit more of a chance, a little bit more risk with those attacking plays and committing some more bodies forward, but there's not many will. You're seeing so more teams being forced to go direct, because of that, because the default position often for teams playing against, here we go, Villa in down the far side here. Another corner. It just seems to be when you've got a game set up where you've got one team who are clearly better than another, or one team who are maybe a touch more fresher than another. The team that's maybe not in the strong of a position will automatically default to that low block, maybe 5 at the back or 5 in midfield, very little space between the lines. And all that ends up happening is either the team pumps it long, or it goes wide and then back, wide and then back, wide and then back, and it's so frustrating. It's not the same sort of football that we were used to not that long ago, to be honest. 10, 15 years ago, it felt like there was more chances in games. That Brighton and Forest game yesterday, the first half in particular was dreadful. It was so cagey. And I guess that's maybe a sign of how how important these games are for these teams. So I can understand they might not want to take a risk, but I'd like teams to be a little bit more bold and back themselves and really go for it. You know, how often are you in an FA Cup quarter final? And not only in an FA Cup quarter final, by the way, but in an FA Cup quarter final with basically all of the top teams eliminated from the competition. Yeah, Manchester City, you know, fine, of course, they're still the favourites for obvious reasons, but City have been beaten by loads of teams this season. So if you got, like, Bournemouth aren't going to fear Manchester City today. Bournemouth have got a great chance. You could argue Bournemouth are maybe even the favourites in that one based on form. Here's Villa again. Chance on the overlap if they get this right. Luca Dean. Oh, this is like Liverpool against Sunderland when when Darren Bent had that shot and it bounced in off the beach ball. There's just loads of balloons on the pitch. It's mad. But yeah, I just coming back to it. I just feel like there's just so few open games these days. Do you not think? Is it just me? Let me know what you're thinking in the comments. Let me know whether you're on TikTok or YouTube or whatever, or Instagram or Facebook or Twitch. I'm on all of them. Let me know what you're thinking about this. So yeah, to me it just seems like loads of games are getting in that, especially at this stage of the season in the FA Cup. It's usually does it not just... FA Cup games to me have always been kind of open and cavalier and a little bit end to end. Oh, that's a foul, ref. That's a foul, ref. Oh, who is it? Who's the ref? Yeah, what a surprise. What a surprise. Look who the ref is. Less said about, I'm not even going to speak his name, less said about him, the better. Unbelievable. That's good play by Villa. Switch is on here. Oh, he's played it far too early and he's gone offside. No. Not good. Why is the clock stopped again? Right, we're all synced up again. There you go. We're all synced up. Hi mate, happy Mother's Day. Well, I'm not a mother, but happy Mother's Day to all the mums. Absolutely, yeah. Good point. Someone sent me that meme before. You know the Mike... Well, it's not a meme, is it? It's an actual tweet. Michael Owen put out a tweet in, I think it was 2012, where he said, Happy Mother's Day to all the mums out there. Hashtag pray for Mwamba. Which I know isn't funny, because it's, you know, I think it was about the time that Fabrice Mwamba had collapsed on the pitch. So, that's not... I mean, it's all fine now. He's fine. He lived. It's all good. But what an odd combination. Happy Mother's Day to all the mums out there. Hashtag pray for Mwamba. Mate. Oh, that's wonderful play by Morgan Rogers, but really good defending by Preston, actually. Really good defending, that 1v1. Spent all day yesterday talking about 1v1 duels with fullbacks because I was making the point that, and not to labour the point, because I know I've done 2 videos on him in the last couple of days, but Trent Alexander-Arnold is not the strongest in his 1v1 duels. And I was talking about how when he goes to Real Madrid, he's going to have to compete with Carvajal. He's going to have to compete with Valverde or even Vasquez, whoever they put there. Because I don't think it's going to be automatic that Trent just gets put there. And even if he does, I think he's going to have major issues, because Real Madrid fullbacks are expected, especially in Ancelotti's system, are expected to be very, very good in their 1v1 duels. They don't change how the team plays to protect the fullback. You know, you look at Ferland Mendy, you look at Carvajal, you look at Valverde when he's played there, even Vasquez when he's played there this season. They're not gonna reshape the entire side to accommodate Trent Alexander-Arnold's ability to unlock defences from there. I mean, as unique a skill as that is, Liverpool literally, we always put a defensive-minded player in that right side of midfield. Fabinho, Henderson, Milner, Wijnaldum. Now it's like Szoboszlai, he'll drift across. So there's always someone there to cover for Trent when he flies forward. And yet, they're still gonna go for it. They're still gonna take him, and I think he's gonna get exposed. But that's why when I just saw that really, really good bit of 1v1 defending, made me think of the whole Trent debate yesterday, because I've had nothing but abuse since I put that video up. Right, Villa have got a free kick just outside the area. Lucas Dean is over it, or Luca Dean, however you want to pronounce it. But Luca Dean is just stood over it. It's not really suited for a left footer. Probably more for the right foot of Rashford, who's also over it. Dean's going to take it. Miles over. Miles over. Hi mate, what do you think of Aston Villa's chances to qualify for the Champions League this season? Not great, if I'm honest with you, mate. If I'm dead honest with you, I'm not really convinced that they're going to make it. And the only reason I say that is I think they're still focused on this competition. I do think they'll go through today. I think they will be very much focused on the PSG games coming up over the next couple of weeks. I think they'll go out against PSG, but they might go through. You never know. They might go through, and they might go through in this. They might focus on the cup competitions this season. Unai Emery has always been a very, very good cup manager, and I think Aston Villa have got a great chance of winning this competition. I think because they qualified for the Champions League last season, I suspect they'll probably put all their eggs in the basket of maybe the FA Cup and trying to win something. Because that's what teams want, isn't it? Like you can talk about finishing 4th and 5th and all that, and you know the money men upstairs love all that. And, you know, it's nice to play in the Champions League, but you want to win a trophy, don't you? I'm sure if Aston Villa fans were offered the opportunity of, look, you can win the FA Cup or you can finish 7th and go in the Europa League, or 6th and go in the Europa League, I guarantee you they'd take the FA Cup every single day of the week. Every single day of the week. Any Aston Villa fans who take the Champions League over the FA Cup, Champions League qualification for next season, it's madness. You want to win things as a team. You know, that's an important monkey to get off your back, isn't it? How long you've gone without a trophy as a club. So for Aston Villa to be seen as a team that win things, just as Newcastle have, you know, it's a big thing to get them winning trophies. And I do hope we get a new FA Cup winner this year. But I don't think they're going to qualify for the Champions League, I'm afraid. No, not via the league anyway. they might have an outside. They might have a better chance, funnily enough, of winning the Champions League and qualifying that way than qualifying via the league. I just think I know they're only 3 points off. Let me have a look at the league table. I know they're only kind of a few points off. Yeah, they're 3 points off City, albeit City have a much better goal difference. So they're effectively 4 points off. So it's only 2 games, so they could get back in it. But I just think that City, Chelsea, Newcastle, Forest are obviously miles ahead of him, so it's really any 2 from Chelsea, City, Newcastle, Brighton, Fulham, Villa and Bournemouth. All of those could, in theory, qualify for the Champions League. I mean, look, it's not entirely impossible for Brentford, who are in 11th, if they were to put a massive, mega run on between now and the end of the season. If they beat Newcastle this weekend, or it's midweek, sorry, Brentford beat Newcastle, it gets even tighter there. Brentford then are only 3 or 4 points off the Champions League or the Europa League places. So there's loads of teams in the mix, and I think the fact that Aston Villa have struggled typically after cup competitions, I think they're probably going to sacrifice the league a little bit this season and go for one of the big cups. Probably the FA Cup is the one that they'll prioritise. The Champions League, I'm sure, get as much money as they can, raise the profile. All of that will help them in the summer. But I would be amazed if Aston Villa qualified for the Champions League next season, yeah. Edward, oi mate, how you been? Been good, mate, how are you? Good to see you. Still can't get on TikTok, it's an issue with Streamlabs. So it's a technical issue with Streamlabs again. I've found out that it's nothing that I'm doing. It appears that thousands of people are having the same issue that I am. So, yeah, I'm kind of at the mercy of the developers and whoever can try and fix it so that I can stream my my stuff through TikTok. But we shall see. Still 0-0, 26 minutes gone. There's not been any great chances really for either team. I mean, apart from that penalty claim for Preston in the first 90 seconds, it's been pretty dour. Brian Little. There you go, won League Cup as Aston Villa manager in '96. I remember that. I remember Brian Little's Villa team. They were a really good side actually. They had Savo Milosevic up front and Dwight York and who else did they have at the back? They had Ugo Ehiogu, God rest his soul. Paul McGrath might have been there then as well. Mark Bosnich in net. Mark Draper. Who would they have had in midfield? Ian Taylor, maybe. Let me have a look. Actually, let me do that. While we're talking Aston Villa, I feel like I've done all right there. Let me have a look at the Aston Villa 1996 League Cup winning side. Aston Villa 1996 Cup final. Right, here we go. They beat Leeds United 3-0, and the match details were... Oh, here we go. In goal, Mark Bosnich. Got him. At the back, Ugo Ehiogu. Got him. Paul McGrath. Got him. I didn't get Gareth Southgate. Didn't get Gary Charles. I didn't get Alan Wright. But I got Ian Taylor. Didn't get Andy Townsend. I might have got that one. He was the captain. Mark Draper. Yeah. Dwight York. Savo Milosevic. And they had Steve Staunton on the bench. Yeah, look at that Leeds side as well. Lucas Radaby, Gary Kelly, Gary Speed, Carlton Palmer, Gary McAllister, Tony Yeboah, Andy Gray. Andy Gray, funnily enough, is Archie Gray's dad, isn't he? Andy Gray, who played up front against Villa for Leeds in a cup final. His son is Archie Gray, who plays for Spurs. Rashford's just had a shot from a free kick. I think it's come off a Villa player there, so it's gone out for a goal kick. Not good. Edward, not the best, mate. Lost my gran on Thursday, so stuck. Oh, bloody hell, mate. I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, it's horrible when that happens, mate. I'm sorry to hear that. How old was she? Kane building the Premier League's most forgotten football players. Oh, that's a great chance for Preston. Must be, if they can get this right. Oh, just wide. Whew. That's a good topic though, Kane. Building the Premier League's most forgotten football players. Yeah, it's alright, that. I think you'll do well with that, mate. You do really good videos on that sort of stuff. I've got one that I'm working on, but it's not going to get published this week. It's like a 3 or a 4 part series, to be honest. But you'll see it come out. You'll see it come out next, maybe later this week. I've got a lot of live streaming this week, and we've got a lot of because obviously the Premier League's back, and I've got my prediction show, which I've got to film and edit and get out for tomorrow morning at the absolute latest. So got absolutely loads on. I posted 2 videos in the last 24 hours. Trying to get them all done and edited and up on YouTube. So it's just really quick turnaround time. It's a lot of work. Edward, she only just turned 73 last week. Oh, that's no age. Oh, bloody hell, mate. I'm sorry to hear that. Noticed you viewed my page on TikTok. Yeah, because you commented, I think, on one of my vids this morning. I was like, oh, I've not seen Edward for a while. I just thought I'd have a little look, see what you're up to, mate. But, yeah, condolences, mate. That's not good. My better half, she lost her gran not that long ago. And it's horrible. It's not nice. Kane, Milan versus Napoli tonight. I've got a combined X1 coming out. Oh, okay, yeah, that's a good shout. Some good games on this weekend, actually. I mean, the Fiorentina v Atalanta's just kicked off. That would have been a good one to do a combined 11 on. It's the big Greek derby as well tonight. Olympiakos v Panathinaikos. I remember being in Greece. I wasn't in Athens because it would have been mental there, I imagine. But I remember being in Greece for it was basically a title decider last year, Olympiakos against Panathinaikos, and I can't tell you how mad the Greeks are over there for that game. Like, there was literally, if you supported Panathinaikos and you went into an Olympiakos bar, no, absolutely not. Like, it's nearly as bad as Rangers and Celtic. It's very, very partisan. Like, when I think about Liverpool and Everton and Liverpool and Man United, you could probably, if you was a Liverpool fan, you could probably go into most Manchester pubs and watch Liverpool v United. It wouldn't be comfortable. You'd get a lot of, you'd get a bit of grief. But I think you'd generally be okay. Whereas over there, I think you'd get ushered out quite quickly. There's no way you're staying. Edward, City, Bournemouth will be good, I think. Well, I think Bournemouth will come out and really have a go at City. So that's the game that I was looking forward to most this weekend. This one I thought would be cagey. Brighton Forest I thought would be cagey because of how... Oh, that's a great ball in. Oh, Preston, big chance. Yeah, I thought that Preston Villa would be cagey. I thought Brighton and Forest would be cagey because of how Forest play. And I can't remember. To be honest, with Fulham Palace, I thought that was a really good game, but that was quite cagey in the first half. It was just Palace were really clinical. So I am looking forward to City and Bournemouth because I get the feeling that City feel like they have to win. They absolutely have to win. And on paper, they should win. But because of how bad City have been and how good Bournemouth have been, I feel like Bournemouth are going to, especially Areola's going to have a really good go at him. Oh, that was a good ball. Unlucky Villa. Unlucky. You've just released your combined 11 on that one as well. I've not seen that yet, Kane, but if I had to have a guess, what would my combined 11 be? Go on, City and Bournemouth, let's do one. City and Bournemouth, my combined 11 would be probably Ederson, even though I think Kepa's had a better season this season. So if it was just based on... Actually, yeah, do you know what? I'm going to do it just on this season. I would put Kepa in net. Kepa's been really good for Bournemouth, so I'll put Kepa in. Right back... maybe Rico Lewis. It's tough because he doesn't even start, does he? He doesn't even start for him. It's tough. You can't put Núñez there, and I don't think really that... I mean, Lewis Cook's been playing right back for Bournemouth a lot of the season, so they're all sort of playing out of position a little bit. So right back, I'd probably go Rico Lewis, just because he's the closest thing that fits there, maybe. Centre back, I'd go Hyson and Diaz. Left back, I'd go Kirkes, but only just because Guardiola has been very good. But I'd go Kirkes, and then midfield three. I mean, that one's quite easy. I think that's all Bournemouth. I'd go Ryan Christie, Kluivert. Would I include Ryan Christie and Kluivert certainties? Probably, yeah, I'd put Tyler Adams in there. Christie, Kluivert, Tyler Adams, and then up front, I think it'd be silly not to have Semenyo. It'd be Semenyo, Haaland. Semenyo, Haaland, maybe Marmoush. Kusanov, Diaz, Hyson, Gvardiol, Christie, Adams, De Bruyne, Kluivert, Haaland, Semenyo. It's not bad. It's not bad. I'd probably put Marmoush up there with Semenyo and Haaland. And I'd have Kluivert sitting a bit deeper in midfield with Adams and Christie. De Bruyne, I don't think you can put De Bruyne in this season. De Bruyne's not been great. He's not played. It's not even necessarily that he's not been great. He's just not played. Sorry for not focusing too much on this, by the way, if anyone's watching and is wondering why we're not commenting an awful lot on the game. There isn't really an awful lot happening. It's a corner to Villa now, so we have got a little bit of something happening. Kane, I hope Bournemouth wins, so we see an underdog win the cup. I mean, you could apply that to anyone other than City, really, couldn't you? I think it'd be great to see Forest win something. Imagine Forest win an FA Cup and get in the Champions League. If Nuno Santo didn't win Manager of the Year, it wouldn't make... That'd be outrageous. He'd have to. Ooh, big chance there for Villa. Just over the bar. I think it was Mings. Or was it Konza? Konza. Kane, what do you think of Rashford so far at Villa? First 5 or 6 games, very, very good when he was played off this left-hand side. Today they've started him at centre-forward. He's not really doing it. Centre-forward's not his position. I think Mourinho made that very clear, didn't he, when he started, when he played at United. He was managing United and he was there. He made it very clear that I'm not sure Rashford, I think, am I remembering this right? Rashford wanted to be a centre-forward. You'll know better than I, Kane. Rashford wanted to be a centre-forward, didn't he? He wanted to play as a number 9. And Mourinho said quite publicly that he's not that. He isn't that. He never will be that. and he won't play for me in that position. Because I remember there being like a big kerfuffle, a big noise about why is Mourinho playing Rashford out of position on the left. And since then, that is where he's done most of his good stuff. But I remember when he first came in at United, he came through as a striker, didn't he? He came through as like a centre forward. But yeah, I think he probably is better played off the left, and today, because of the way Villa have set up with Jacob Ramsey there, he's having to play more central and it doesn't suit him. There you go. Mourinho said something about him not being good with his back to goal, and he wanted to be a 9. Mourinho said no. Yeah, I thought it was something like that. I remember vaguely that was the state of the conversation. Oh, Ezri Konsa took a big chance there. But yeah, he's done all right. He's done okay. I'm not sure that Aston Villa, based on what they've seen so far, would pay 40 million quid for him. Maybe they need to be... I think that Man United... Is it an obligation for Villa to sign him, by the way? It's not, is it? It's not an obligation. So I suspect that he doesn't sign for Villa. And not because he's not been good, he's just not been £40 million good. Like, if Aston Villa have got 40 million quid to spend, I think they're spending it elsewhere. They're not chucking it on Marcus Rashford. So I think Marcus Rashford probably goes back to United next year. And yeah, Martial was a good centre forward, just way too injury prone. He'll be playing tonight. AEK Athens against PAOK Salonika. That's another one I'll be watching. Yeah, Martial's probably another one of them strikers you could put in the bracket. Not even just a striker. One of those players who physically have everything, look like a really good player, but it's just not. It's not really up here. Or their body falls to bits, as you say. Maybe they're injury prone, and you could file so many players in that category. You know, Pogba's probably another one. Looks a player, has an awful lot about him that you know you would think strong, tall, quick. You know, a decent first touch, can pass, but mentally not all there, and a little bit too injury prone in recent years. Although I'm not entirely sure where Pogba is at the moment. Is he still not playing? Option to buy Luke Shaw is the same. Luke Shaw? Luke Shaw's still at Man United, isn't he? Is Luke Shaw out on loan? Luke Shaw's not out on loan, is he? Oh, Luke Shaw is the same. Sorry about that. Yeah, you're right. You're right. One of the best left-backs in the world when he plays, but just injured all the time. I'm not sure about one of the best in the world, but you're right. He is a very good left-back, and he just... Some players just struggle. Harry Kewell was a little bit like that for Liverpool. But the problem with Harry Kewell was, I think Rafa Benitez made a comment about Harry Kewell about him maybe not being willing to play through the pain barrier, and maybe a lot of his issues were psychological. I can't remember the exact words. I'm paraphrasing. It was something along them lines, I'm sure. I think it was Benitez made a comment about it once, because he was asked in a press conference, you know, where's Harry Kewell? Where's you know, one of your best players? You've just signed him from Leeds. He's like, Barcelona wanted him, Arsenal wanted him, Chelsea, United, they all wanted him. Liverpool managed to get him from Leeds because he only had a year left on his contract, and he was just constantly injured. And Benitez made some comment about, oh, he's always injured, and it's part of it's mental. It's not like he doesn't want to play through the pain barrier. He's scared he's going to get injured again. He's scared he's going to pull something. So it's not necessarily that he is injured, just that he's fearful of it. And since then, the Liverpool fans just turned on him. Yeah, the Liverpool fans just turned on him, and they never quite got that relationship back with Harry Kewell. Remember his missus going absolutely mental at Anfield. Oh. Chance here for Preston. Offside. Dele Alli, Martinez. That's probably another good idea for a video, that, to be honest, mate. Injury-prone players. There you go. Giving you an idea. Don't thank me. I mean, not that it was the most creative thing, but that would be a good one for you to do. Maybe the top 10. Or do an X1, do an injury-prone X1. People would like that. Injury-prone 11. You'd have... Let's do it. We'll do it now, go on. Injury-prone 11. So you could have Dele Alli. But it feels a little bit harsh putting Dele Alli in there. Because Dele Alli's isn't... A lot of it isn't injuries, is it? It's mental. He's not quite right up top. He's not quite there to play and commit to a professional football career. That's certainly been one of the issues for him in the last few years. So yeah, I probably wouldn't put Dele Alli in there. Goalkeeper. Injury-prone goalkeeper. Think about injury-prone goalkeepers. There you go, half time. No stoppage time at all there. Jack Wilshere would almost certainly be in there, yeah. Jack Wilshere. Yeah, this guy did exactly that. I'm just looking at it. There's a YouTube channel someone did. The most injury-prone 11 in football history. He got 561 views. And his lineup was... Here, I'll tell you his lineup. His lineup was Jack Butland, Jonathan Woodgate, Thomas Vermaelen. That's a good shout. Samuel Umtiti and Luke Shaw. Midfield was Jack Wilshere. Abu Diaby from Arsenal. That's a good one. Marco Reus. Arjen Robben. Gareth Bale. And Ronaldo. Original Ronaldo. I think you could do better than that. Goalkeeper, I think Jack Butland is a good one for goalkeeper, but I think Alisson would be a good one for goalkeeper, Just from like a Liverpool fan's perspective. I wouldn't class him as injury prone, but I would say out of all modern day goalkeepers, Alisson has missed a lot of football. Like if you just think how good Kevin Kelleher is, think how good he's had to be. Like, he's played in, like, multiple cup finals for Liverpool, multiple big Champions League games. We've had, not just him, we had Adrian. We had Adrian in net for, like, a Champions League quarter-final against Atletico Madrid. The guy is so good. Alisson, for me, is the best keeper I have ever seen, but I think he's probably one for an injury-prone 11, just because of how high-profile he is. Nasri. Was Nasri injury prone? Don't know if Nasri was injury prone. I don't know. Not sure about Nasri. Harry Kewell, the two players who I immediately think of when people say injury prone, the two that I always think of are Harry Kewell and Darren Anderton. Darren Anderton's nickname was Sick Note. I mean, you're going back a little bit there, so maybe that would only appeal to people about my age, kind of early to mid 30s. Darren Anderton, most people won't know who are in the kind of teens and 20s because he was in England's World Cup squad. He scored in the 98 World Cup. I remember that goal as well. It was Colombia. Against Colombia. But yeah, Darren Anderton was the original Sick Note, and Harry Kewell was up there as well. But throw some other names in the chat, go on. That's one of United's biggest problems, I think. That's why we appreciate Bruno and Dalot, because they're always available. That is the good thing. You know, a lot of people say that the best ability for a footballer, the best ability is availability. Managers say that. That was why I absolutely loved players like Dirk Kuyt. Dirk Kuyt, I don't think he ever had an injury for us. I can't recall him ever getting injured. And he played for us for like 8 years. Something stupid. He played for ages. For absolutely ages. So good. And you could put him anywhere and he would do a job. He played right back for us. He played centre forward. It didn't quite work out for him at centre forward, but he could finish. He was just maybe a little bit slow for the Premier League. But he played right wing. He was a really good right winger for us. Created quite a bit. A defensive right winger, Dirk Kuyt. But I really liked him. Give everything for the shirt. Fabulous player. But yeah, the best ability is availability. Throw some other names in the chat if people are in the chat. Throw some names in, whether you're on TikTok or YouTube or wherever. Reece James. Yeah, Reece James is a good one. Naby Keita, absolutely. Naby Keita's another one. Adam Lallana was injury prone. I wouldn't necessarily call him... He wasn't that injury prone, but... The problem with Adam Lallana is he wasn't good enough to get in that Liverpool team. So the rare times that he was fit, he was often on the bench. It's the same with like Oxlade-Chamberlain. Oxlade-Chamberlain, people call him injury prone, but he wasn't injury prone. He was really fit. He was fit all the time, and then all of a sudden got two like really big injuries back to back, and it's just ruined him. He's just never been the same player again. But Oxlade-Chamberlain was exceptional. Naby Keita, yes. Absolutely Naby Keita would go in there. My midfield two would be Naby Keita and Jack Wilshere. Yeah, definitely. There was a time when people thought Robin Van Persie was actually injury prone. You know, he was a player who had a lot of kind of niggles and sprains and strains and all that sort of stuff when he first came through. But I'd put Reece James at right back. I would have Naby Keita, Reece James, Jack Wilshere. They would 1,000,000% be in there. I would have Harry Kewell at left wing. Are you live on TikTok? I'm not live on TikTok. No, I thought it's an issue with Streamlabs. I've raised a ticket with Streamlabs weeks ago, and they've just got back to me like last week saying we're working on it. It's an issue affecting everybody who uses Streamlabs. They can stream to YouTube, they can stream to Instagram and Facebook and Twitch and everywhere else that you need to stream to, but you can't stream to TikTok for some reason. Some people are saying it's like a conspiracy because TikTok want you to use TikTok Live Studio. The problem with TikTok Live Studio is you can only use that. So if I'm streaming on TikTok via my laptop here, I can't stream to YouTube. So it would be a case of me picking TikTok over YouTube. I agree with you on them too as well. Thiago and Daniel Sturridge, yeah. Oh, God. We've had some injury, but it's all Liverpool players, isn't it? Daniel Sturridge, yes. Thiago Alcantara, yes. So if you had a midfield three of Thiago, Wilshere, Keita, front three of Kewell, Sturridge, maybe someone else on the right wing, and your back four of Reece James, Thomas Vermaelen would be a good one as well for centre. He was always injured, Thomas Vermaelen. Stevan Jovetic. Yeah, Jovetic was it. But again, it's what you want to... Jovetic had, I think, a couple of big injuries, didn't he? And he's not that good. If you're making an injury-prone 11, ideally you want really good players who are injury-prone a lot. Just looking back at that Eze goal, what a player. Jack Rodwell, yeah. Is Jack Rodwell a little bit on the Dele Alli side, though? That's the only worry. I would be a little bit cautious about including players like Jack Rodwell, Dele Alli, Jordan Ibe, for example, because I think a part of that, I'm not entirely sure if this is the case, but I think a part of that was like mental health. It wasn't necessarily that they were out injured through the physical injury, like a muscle injury or something like that, or they broke the leg. It was, I think it was upstairs. Could be wrong on Jack Rodwell, but I'm almost certain there was an element of that. So I'd just be a little bit cautious about including those in. You might get a bit of a bite back from some people. I mean, you'll get a bite back anyway. You've been on social media long enough now, haven't you, mate? You know what people are like. If they can pick holes in something, they'll pick holes in it anyway. But they'll find fault with anything, even if it's well intentioned. But yeah, if you did put Dele Alli in an injury 11, people would be saying, well, "What you taking the mick out of mental health for?" Can't win. Is it me or were them penalties last night for Brighton and Forest absolutely dreadful? The one that wins it, the keeper gets 2 hands on it. He's got to keep that out. Ledley King, yes. Ledley King, that's another very good one for centre-back. Yeah, I'd have Ledley King in there. In fact, that would be it. Ledley King, Vermaelen, Reece James. We now need a left-back. Fabio Aurelio. There you go. Fabio Aurelio, left-back for Liverpool. Always injured. And he was a good left-back as well, Fabio Aurelio. A bit like Luke Shaw. Oh, no, you're putting Luke Shaw in, aren't you? Luke Shaw's probably better. Yeah, he's probably a better one. Fabio Aurelio was exceptional, though. But both of them at left-back. So if you did Shaw or Aurelio, Shaw, King, Vermaelen, Reece James, Thiago, Naby Keita, Jack Wilshere, front three, Kuehl, Sturridge, and now you need a right back. You need a right back, and then your keeper's going to be maybe Alisson. I don't know. Mostly Liverpool players. It's so annoying. You need a right winger. Let's have a think. A right winger who was injury prone. Robin was a little bit injury prone, wasn't he? Yeah, Iron Robin was quite injury prone. Neymar? He was definitely one you'd include in an injury prone 11, surely. Thomas Rosicky as well, he got injured quite a bit. But yeah, I would consider Neymar for that one. Yeah, Robin at Chelsea. I mean, Robin at Bayern, to be honest. I was having that discussion this morning about players who went to Real Madrid and it didn't work out for, and I mentioned Robin. There's loads of players. But yeah, I think that'd be a good one. That'd be a really good one for you to do that. I'll do a Prem injury prone vid and a World injury prone. Okay, nice. Okay, nice. We need to have a little. We need to have a little chat, me and you as well, Kane. By the way, we need to have a little chat because we need to. We need to get like a Discord server or something going. Because I think because we're kind of on a similar journey, I guess. There's loads I think I could learn from you, and absolutely, I could give you some tips and stuff that maybe we can help each other out. Definitely, though, I think if we chucked, there's probably a couple of us. I mean, we could have a little. We should get like a little Discord community. I was watching a video. The reason I say it is because I was watching a video yesterday, and it was Mr. Beast talking about he had 4 or 5 people who were all trying to learn YouTube, learn TikTok, learn social media, and trying to grow. And they were going on the journey together, and they were just trying to figure it all out, and they would just test things and then share what they learned in this little group every single day, and it just became this like little knowledge hub, this little knowledge base for people. So it'd be worth looking at that. Calvin Phillips, yeah, definitely. That's what I mean. Well, I've got one set. Well, I've got a Discord set up, so I can set. I'll send you the link with the server ID or whatever on. I'll send you a link to it, and then we can add a few more people to it. But like, try and be choosy. Do you know what I mean? Try and be a little bit choosy about who is in and who is out, because if it gets too big, then it kind of ceases to be what it should be. Do you know what I mean? Like you want ideally people who are about the same size, going on a similar journey. Not someone who's absolutely brand new, not someone who's like absolutely smashing it up here. Ideally, you want people who are all roughly about the same level. I mean, it'd be great if you get someone who's got like 1 million followers or whatever. Fantastic. You can learn loads from them, but they'd probably get a limited amount back from us. So it's yeah, I don't know. We can talk about all that. I'll send you the link. We'll have a chat about it. Right, we're back. We're off for the second half. Let me turn the old volume back up. Story, Gibson, Hughes, no changes really for either side at half time. Try get one person from different fan bases as well. Yeah. I mean, to be honest, who they support, I don't necessarily think even really matters. I mean, yeah, we can get a good mix, that's fine. But, you know, my channel's non-team specific. I mean, I say I'm a Liverpool fan, but I'm not. It's not like everything that I do is about Liverpool. I do videos on everyone, same as you. You're a United fan, but you do videos on everyone and everything. So I guess if we get a Villa fan and a Villa fan channel, or a West Ham fan or whatever, fine, great, whatever they want to put content on. I guess it's just about learning and sharing, and you know, it's not a competition thing, is it? It's just us trying to help each other out and kind of push everyone up. I just think it'd be a really good thing. And not even just from a learning perspective, you know, as well, because there's a lot of people. I've learned this in a very, very short time doing this. And it is a very short time I've been doing it, so I have loads to learn. I learn new things every single day doing this. Ball over the top. Ooh, yeah, I learn loads doing this. But there's a lot of snakes. There's a lot of snakes about who seek to take advantage, I guess, in terms of agencies is a particular one. They'll not offer a great amount, but they'll take a lot back. Stuff like that. You've got to be cautious of, and just I just think it's probably worth having a little community where you can share. What do you think of this? You know, what is this a good idea? Should we be doing this? sort of thing. Just a soundboard, do you know what I mean? Just to run ideas past, and I know I'd appreciate it, even if a lot of people might not, if they don't want to be in it, they don't have to, but I know I'd appreciate something like that where I can just run ideas past a few other people who I trust, who are also doing it and going, do you know what? Is this smart? Is this the right thing? Kane, Jack Butland, James Vermaelen, King, Shaw, Wilshere, Phillips, Thiago, Bale, Sturridge, Robin. Nice. I'd probably put Naby Keita in over Calvin Phillips. I watched that same Mr. Beast video. Yeah, it's honestly, I just pick up little things like that, and then it gets stuck in my head, and I think we need something like that. We definitely need something like that. But that is how you drive forward. That is how you learn. Like, I used to do that when I worked in recruitment and sales and stuff like that. You try and find other businesses who are about the same level, who you can share knowledge with. It's a massively useful resource. So I assume this will be no different. This will be absolutely no different. It's not about competition or whatever. If you get anyone in there who's a little bit funny, who's a little bit like, again, doesn't quite seem like they're on the same page with everyone, then they don't have to be in it. Free kick to Preston. Big cheer from the home crowd. Obviously, don't think that they've had much today from the referee. He's a shocking referee, though. He really is a shocking ref. You want people who aren't yes men as well. That's a very very good a very good comment. People who aren't afraid to tell you that your content's crap is what Mr. Beast said, isn't it? That's how he phrased it. You want people who'll say that's not a good idea. That's stay away from that, or limit your time on that as much as possible. So yeah, I agree, mate. Absolutely. I think we're on the same page. We'll have a natter about that if you want. I'm so glad I've got Aston Villa to qualify on this, but I'm so glad I only put them to qualify and not to win in 90 minutes, because I knew there would be something about Preston today. Preston have got a chance here. Oh, nearly. It's a 50-50 in the box there, and if the Villa defender got it wrong, it was nearly a penalty. What time's City on? City kick-off is at 3:30. The good thing about getting multiple fan bases is you can create content together. For example, when Liverpool are playing Arsenal, you can get an Arsenal fan on your live before the game, for example. Yeah, well, no, so that, I was going to say that's a completely different thing. Or at least I interpreted it as a completely different thing. So I've already started doing that. I've already started connecting with other fan bases because of the stuff that I do on YouTube. Again, it might not be as relevant to you. I don't know. Maybe it's in your plans to do that sort of. I don't know. Maybe you want to prioritise the stuff that you do that works really, really well. I mean, you're flying at the minute. So, but the stuff that I do in terms of like the watch-alongs, the pre-match stuff, the post-match stuff, I've started connecting with fans of every Premier League club, so that I can have like a little network of these are the people who we're all like, when they need someone from Liverpool or whatever, they can come to me. When they need someone, we just kind of bounce around off each other. So I agree, doing shared content like that is going to be mega useful. Oh, Villa, big chance here if they can get it right. Oh, why has he not passed it off? Who was that? Rashford. Oh, Rashi, you've had an absolute You have had an absolute shocker here. Tielemans driving forward. He finds Rashford. It just about gets to him. Oh, all he has to do is roll it to Asensio. If he rolls that ball to Asensio, Asensio's got a tap in. Instead, he tries to... Oh, you silly, silly boy. You silly, silly boy. But yes, sorry. In theory and in principle, I absolutely get what you're saying, and I think it's a very good idea. And yes, I want to do that. For example, when I think of your content, I think of the lives and the chill vibes and convos on different things. That's what I think you're really good at. Oh, thanks, mate. Well, that's what I'm trying. It's kind of that is the kind of thing that I'm trying to do. That it's actually not. It kind of is and isn't a watch along. Like if you think about it, we've done 53 minutes of this game so far. How long have we spent talking about the game? That's pretty much the case with every single watch along I do. We end up veering off onto different subjects off the comment and whatever. We'll talk about everything and anything. If people have comments and stuff about, what's going on in the Premier League, what's going on in Champions League, what's going on in life, in politics, whatever. It can just be a little bit of a space where we all come and have a natter and have a chat. Rashford down the right-hand side. Can he get this right? Oh, no. That's a free kick to Villa. What's going on here? Well, that's what Goldbridge does, kind of, on that football. Yeah, there's, a little bit of that. I think Goldbridge probably prefers that football now. Maybe it's just an age thing, I don't know, but the United stands, again, we've talked about this before, I can't do the whole forced reactions thing. It doesn't sit well with me, and I'm no good at it. If I see something, I'm watching this game now. If the camera wasn't on, how I reacted to that Rashford thing is exactly how I would have reacted if the camera wasn't on. So it wouldn't make any difference. Whereas you can tell with pretty much every other watch along, it's all forced, innit? It is all forced. Not all of them. I'll admit, it's not all of them. It really isn't. There's some very, very good watch-along content creators and whatever. But there's also some where you just look at it and go, mate, you don't do that. You don't do that. If you was at the game doing that, you'd get thrown out. You'd get thrown out. I'm more known for my combined 11 video editing style, Man United videos. Well, that's what you're known for now, and it might be that you want to be known for that, and that's great, because mate, you will do incredibly well, even if all you do is just that. Just, this is my niche, this is what I do. Great editing, really likeable, short form content, smash it. If you did nothing but that, you will do incredibly well. I have absolutely no doubt. And maybe you do want to do different things in future. Maybe you want to do different things now. But you could do all that and apply all that and take it a step further if you wanted to. But if you're happy doing what you're doing, stick to what you're doing. But equally, I think you've got lots of different content creators. There's lots of room for everyone to get involved and do different things. I remember speaking to a guy the other week, and he made a comment. I can't remember what he said. He made a comment about, I posted this video, and then he saw something. Not me. He posted a video, and then a few days later, he'd seen somebody else post a very similar video, and it got him really, annoyed and irritated and upset, and he was a bit like, they're just robbing my idea. They've just absolutely ripped off my idea, and their video, I think this probably was what was annoying him, their video was doing a lot better than his, but he did it first, and I was just like, mate, you need to just chill. There's so many different... Your video, nobody can reproduce your video. They can talk about the same thing, but nobody can reproduce your video in your way, with your style, your tone, your editing. There's just too much nuance to it. So you don't even have to You don't even have to worry. Just do your thing. Here we go. Villa are flying forward now. Big chance. There you go. That's one. And it is Rashi. It is Rashi. We've just been nailing him, Kane. We've just been talking about him. And he scored. It's a tap-in. It's actually, I mean, I've got to say, it's all due to the movement on the left-hand side. I think it's Jacob Ramsey who sets this up. I think it is Jacob Ramsey. And if it's Jacob Ramsey, then that's great, because all I've been saying for weeks and weeks, I've done a video on Jacob Ramsey. He is one for the World Cup squad. He is one for the World Cup squad. Let's just have a little look here. Let's see. I think it's Tielemans. It's Asensio. He plays it out wide. It's Luca Dean. It's Jacob Ramsey to Luca Dean to Rashford. Asensio, Jacob Ramsey, great ball, into Luca Dean, into Rashford. Good goal. Very good goal, that. Very good goal from Villa. Oh, I feel a little bit better now. I've got Villa to qualify. I feel a little bit better. We've seen a goal. We've seen a goal. Oh, right, okay. So, what's the goals? What's the scores everywhere else at the minute? Fiorentina 1, Atalanta 0. That's not good. And Wolfsberger 1, Sturm Graz 0. Oh! See, that was another thing I wanted to do as well. And I'm not going to do it because I don't think I can do it. But I was going to do like a betting channel. Where and not a betting channel where I give tips, because believe me, you wouldn't want the tips. Just a betting channel where I constantly fail. Just I put like an acca on if I did an acca, or maybe 3 accas a week. Do 3 videos a week of a long form acca. Chance 2 must be. Oh, how's he missed it? Is that Rashford missing an open net again? Who was that? Oh, I don't know who that was. Aston Villa are flying now. Yeah. Oh, that's a penalty, referee. He's give a penalty. I knew that was going to be one. I knew that. He did go in on him. It was a little bit late, that. Morgan Rogers. They're going to check it. They're going to check it. I think it is a pen. First reaction is that's a pen. Let's just have a little look here. He's not offside. There's no problems with it. Yeah, that's a pen. That's a pen. All day, every day. Oh, you can't even... How's he even arguing that? He's just... He studded him on the ankle. That's a penalty all day. Easy. Right, it was Rashford who created it. It wasn't actually Rashford. It was... Oh, and there was a hint of handball on the line there. Bloody hell, we've had a couple of moments. We've had a couple of moments there, but it's going to be a penalty. It's going to be a penalty to Aston Villa. And I wonder if Marcus Rashford might take it. Marcus... He has. He's got the ball in his arms. I mean, whether or not he's gonna officially take it, or if he's going to hand it off to Tielemans, maybe. I don't know. But Rashford needs the goals. You just said there that £45 million buy option's not getting triggered. I think you might be wrong now. He might kick on. This might have been what he needed, was some goals. He's got one. He's got a tap in. He's now going to take a penalty. He does need a couple of goals. He's back in the England squad. I think he might do, I think he might just make that £45 million move. Especially if Villa kick on and go and win the FA Cup. This is a big, big win for him. Here's Rashford. Steps up. Rashi. It's a long run up. 2-0. Passes it in. Sends the keeper the wrong way. 63 minutes, Preston 0, Villa 2. You'd have to say that's game over, I think. I can't see Preston coming back now. Big win for Aston Villa. But yeah, coming back to what I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by a penalty. I was going to try and do a betting channel, but you can't do them on TikTok. I don't even know if you can do them on YouTube. It'd be hard to get it monetized, I imagine. Just because it's betting. And the nature of the channel and all that sort of thing, you might struggle to get it, but I was going to do a channel on that. Because I put probably three bets a week on, just in terms of like long form accumulators. I probably put one on a weekend, maybe 2 on a weekend and 1 in midweek. So I could do 3 videos a week easily, and I'd fail 99% of the time. I only put a couple of quid on it. It's not like the end of the world, but I drop probably 1 or 2 a year. I always win about 1 or 2 a year. And the last one that I won was about 7.5 grand. And that's paid for like the last few years. I've broke even over like the last 5 years just off that one. Where are the great? But yeah, so I'm debating doing something like that, but at the minute, Premier League Dad's taking up all of my time. I haven't played FIFA in God knows how long. Edward, I don't know if he's still in the chat. I know you wanted me to do a FIFA play-along. I haven't played FIFA, honestly, I think since Christmas. It's nearly April. I haven't played FIFA since Christmas. I haven't played any game. I've not been able to go on the game since Christmas because I'm either filming or I'm editing, or I'm script writing or storyboarding or doing something that would be related to Premier League Dad. So I am working 7 days a week on it. 7 days a week. And I'm loving it, by the way. I love it. It's all football. It's all learning. It's all good fun. I'm very lucky in that sense. Very different from all the jobs that I've had previously. It's a completely different world to sales and recruitment and education and all that sort of stuff. Right, I might have to cash out here because I don't think Sturm Graz are going to help me out. I'm almost certain that Sturm Graz are going to let me down. So yeah, they're going to have to be. It's going to have to be a cash out. Atalanta are getting beat. Sturm Graz are getting beat. Oh, it's a bad day. Bad day for football. FC 20 are getting beat. I might as well just keep that running, to be honest. Please, dear God, tell me that's not Aston Villa taking it to the corner already. Jesus Christ. 67 minutes. You've got Preston away from home. Like, come on, do something. Oh, that's a bit naughty. That's a yellow card, sir. Yeah, it's a foul and a yellow. Easy. Easy, a foul and a yellow. Sorry, I'm just catching up with the chat. Hi, mate. Who do you think makes the FA Cup final? I mean, it's it's tough to say. I mean, we've obviously got Villa, Forest, and Palace confirmed. It's now about Bournemouth and City and what happens there. I think looking at the the 3 teams that we've seen, I think if I had to pick one of those, and it's entirely possible that 2 of those 3 teams make the final, but I think if we exclude Bournemouth and City, just because we've not seen those teams play just yet, based purely on the 3 teams that we've seen, the one that I would deem to be most likely to get to the final would be Palace. I would fancy Palace against Forest or Villa or Bournemouth. I actually think Palace are best placed to go on and win it. Genuinely, I think Palace were the most impressive. So I think of the teams we've seen so far, I know we've got Bournemouth and City still to come, but I would say the team that's best placed to win it, the team that's best placed to make the final is Crystal Palace. So I would absolutely say, from everything I've seen so far, Crystal Palace is the team to beat in the FA Cup, and I expect that they will make it. They're their first final since 2016, so I expect it'll be them against maybe... I'd like Palace against Bournemouth. There's something about Forest that I just don't... I think it's just the style of play. I think that's what it is. Like I love that they've done it. I love that they've got to the final, to the semi-final. I love that they're doing that stuff in the Champions League, in the Premier League to qualify for Europe. Like, I love that they're doing so well, but the style and the way that they're getting there, it's just like anti-football to me. I don't enjoy it. But it's effective. It's effective, and you've got to give them credit for that. Whereas Bournemouth, less effective, but absolutely love watching them. I can watch Andoni Iraola's teams lots and lots. So I would, and the same with Oliver Glasner. Massive praise for Oliver Glasner. Massive praise for Andoni Iraola. So I expect, I'd like to see either of those win the FA Cup. I like Unai Emery as well, though. So even him, if I had to pick, it would be Palace, Bournemouth, Villa, in that order. And I don't really want City to win it, and I don't really want Forest to win it. So, Villa are just kind of passing it around now and just biding the time a little bit. That's a lovely turn by... Is that Jacob Ramsey? Oh, what a finish. That was a... There you go. We've just said it. He creates the first. The opening for the first. He's just turned exquisitely. Zidane turn. And then flew towards the goal and drove it in the bottom corner. This kid's going to be in the England squad next year for the World Cup. I am telling you. So good. Such a good player. Very underrated, Jacob Ramsey. Has Rodgers had an assist yet? I don't think he has. I think that pass was from Luca Dean. I think Luca Dean's got 2 assists now. I think I'm right in saying. Let me have a look. I'll tell you. Excuse me. just won me bet. Nice. Rashford hasn't had a good game though. He scored 2 goals. Again, there's an element of if you're playing bad and you score twice, that's not a bad game. It's not a bad place to be in. I think he does just need to get his numbers up. I think that's the thing with Rashford. He does need to get his numbers up if he's going to get that move to Villa. Oh, do you know what? There's some absolute plebs in my comments. I mean, I don't care as long as they buy him. Yeah, I think they will. I think you're okay. I think they will buy him. Unless something happens this summer before they get the option to buy. I think, for example, I really wouldn't rule out Unai Emery moving on this summer. Well, let me rephrase that. I think there's a lot of teams, top teams, that will need a manager soon. And I think there's a number of teams that, if they did need a manager, Unai Emery is one of those that they would look at. And when I'm talking about teams that could need a manager, I think Real Madrid are probably one of them. I think Barcelona are probably one of them. Carlo Ancelotti's apparently going to Brazil for the World Cup, and they've just sacked their manager, so Ancelotti might not be long for Real Madrid. Hansi Flick isn't. I know he's doing all right at Barca, but again, I think they might look to trade up soon. And I think there's a number of like European giants. I think, Vincent Kompany's doing all right at Bayern, but Xabi Alonso might leave Bayer Leverkusen, and could Unai Emery be tempted by Bayer Leverkusen? There's just a few. There's just a few there that I think could take a look at Unai Emery this summer, especially if Aston Villa don't qualify for the Champions League and maybe he doesn't feel like he's going to get backed in the summer. Do you think Andoni Iraola will stay with Bournemouth? Again, it's kind of the same sort of thing. I think if Bournemouth don't qualify for Europe, and there will be opportunities this summer. There will. You'd expect maybe Xabi Alonso might move on. You might expect there to be an opportunity. I think Real Madrid, look, honestly, if Carlo Ancelotti does, as many are suggesting he will, go and manage Brazil for the 2026 World Cup, Andoni Iraola is absolutely one that they will look at. Absolutely. So, yeah, there's a few good managers, a few very good managers in the Premier League that could be tempted by a step up. And it's that, isn't it? And that's the thing I think about a lot, in that Andoni Iraola, Unai Emery, maybe Oliver Glasner. These are managers who, if the top teams are looking for a manager, even Thomas Frank, if the top teams are looking for a manager, it's them managers they'll go for. They wouldn't look at Nuno Santo, even though he might yet win Manager of the Year. It's that sort of thing. That's why you can tell there's a real. Ollie Watkins is coming on, and who's coming on with him? Who is that? I couldn't see it. The sun was on his face, so I couldn't really see who it was. Aston Villa have got 2 subs coming on. But yeah, I think Andoni Iraola will stay at Bournemouth. Assuming there isn't an obvious big club that comes for him in the summer, and assuming that Bournemouth, because even if a big club did come in for Andoni Iraola, and they will at some point, by the way, there's still the chance that he would stay at Bournemouth even then. Like Spurs, for example. I've just seen your comment then, Kane. Your Spurs want Iraola or Frank, apparently. That's it. See, Spurs would go in for either of them. But if Bournemouth get European football, Andoni Iraola's probably going to look at it and go, well, yeah, Spurs are a bigger team, and I might get a bit more money there. I'm going to play in, it's going to be a bigger stadium, all that sort of thing. But here at Bournemouth, they've just opened a brand new training centre. The club are kind of going places. The next step for them will probably be to rebuild the stadium or build a new stadium. That's another big project. He's got total carte blanche there in terms of he's got all of his team around him. He's got the right coaches around him. He's got everything that he needs to be successful at Bournemouth. And the fans love him. The players love him. He's well respected. He might look at Spurs as like a risk he doesn't need to take. Again, if you're a young manager doing really, really well, why would you go to Spurs? Same with Thomas Frank. I think Thomas Frank this summer, there's going to be a real kind of sliding doors moment for Thomas Frank at Brentford. About, they've sold Ivan Toney. Nottingham Forest came in for Johan Wissa in January. That got knocked back. Schade is also being linked with a big move back to the Bundesliga with Bayern, with Dortmund. With Leverkusen, I think, is another one. There's a number of players who at Brentford who are very, very good. Norgard is out of contract, I think, this summer, the captain. So there's a lot of change at Brentford this summer. And I think Thomas Frank is going to be... and Burmo, again, yeah. And Burmo, another one who'll definitely be looked at, won't he, by top clubs this summer. I'd love Liverpool to have a look at Burmo. Very good player. So I think Thomas Frank would be right at that point if players are leaving like that at Brentford, for him to go to the board and be like, look, if you want to take this club seriously and you want this club to be taken seriously, I need some cash to reinvest in the playing squad. And you can either do that, and we might actually kick on, and he's already got him from... They finished, I think, 16th last season. They're in 11th at the moment. They're only a few points off the European places. Imagine Brentford are in Europe next season. Could happen. That's a wonderful pass. Villa. Oh, just wide. Poor from Ollie Watkins. He'll go to Arsenal this summer. I'm telling you, he hasn't looked right since them Arsenal rumours this summer. He hasn't looked right. It's not a terrible finish, it's just wide, but he was desperate to go to Arsenal this summer, and I still think he will. I think Arsenal fans are looking at it as, oh yeah, we're going to go out and sign Alexander Isak. Not a chance. They're going to go and get Ollie Watkins. That's going to be Arsenal's centre-forward for next season. You watch. Guaranteed. They'll go and sign him, probably for about 50 million quid. I think they bid 60, didn't they, in January, and Villa knocked it back. I think they'll sell him for about 50 because he's not re-signing. He'll be a year older. I think he's 30 in December, Ollie Watkins, and I think they get him for about 50 mil. Camera in team of the season. Nah, there's a lot better midfielders than Camera. He's a good player though. Again, very good player, but not sure he'd be team of the season levels. But yeah, I think Thomas Frank could be one that people would look. Thomas Frank could be one for Spurs. I think that makes a lot of sense. But I think if you ask Spurs fans who they would really want, Frank or Iraola, it would be Andoni Iraola. Thomas Frank's a very good manager, but I think Iraola's possibly world class. Thomas Frank is a very good manager. Iraola is possibly world class. He could go and win European Cups and Champions Leagues. He could go and manage Barcelona. He could go and manage Real Madrid. I love the way he sets his teams up, and it's very, very bold. It's a good style of play. Saying that, there was rumours yesterday linking Jurgen Klopp with Real Madrid. Now, that would really annoy Liverpool fans. Wouldn't necessarily annoy me, I'm a Liverpool fan, but I know that it would annoy a lot of the Liverpool fan base if Jurgen Klopp basically said, well, I'm not retiring, I'm going to come out of retirement less than 12 months after leaving, I'm going to go to Real Madrid and manage Trent. I think Liverpool fans would be raging ever so slightly. Kane, I would prefer Frank. Really? You'd prefer Thomas Frank to manage Man United over Andoni Iraola? Okay, fair enough. To each their own. I certainly wouldn't. As a Liverpool fan, I know I would definitely prefer. I like Thomas Frank, and if Arne Slot was to leave and we got Thomas Frank in, I wouldn't be really upset with it. But if I had a choice, I know I'd be picking, and it wouldn't be Frank. It would be Andoni Iraola. Reece, let Rashford cook. Rashford's played quite well. He's got a couple of goals. Leave him be. He's done all right. 2 goals. Can't knock him. How are you doing, Reece? You doing good, mate? Preston have got a free kick. They're 3-0 down. Have I updated me? Oh, why has nobody told me it's still only 2-0? I've been sat here with it 2-0 for the last 20 minutes. Right, it is 3-0 now. It is 3-0. Frank sets his teams up better defensively. There's a better balance. Bournemouth always have the chance to concede a stupid one. Yeah, I'd agree with that. I would agree with that. Bournemouth are maybe a little bit more reckless, a little bit more cavalier. Thomas Frank, yeah, there's an element of pragmatism there, isn't there? Scoreline needs updating, fella. Yeah, thanks, man. I needed that. Where was you 20 minutes ago? Do you know, there's people who've been saying, well, giving me loads of stick this morning. Probably not the same level of stick that you get, Kane, but stick, saying some guy on YouTube's got an opinion on football. Some guy on TikTok with a BS football opinion. Whatever. Like, just talking rubbish. I want to point out to him that I actually do know what I'm talking about. I mean, and look, I know everyone who watches football thinks they know what they're talking about, but believe me when I say, there's 2 players. I did a video in January just gone of what, in fact it was right at the start of January, what every Premier League team needs, and like players they should sign, right? And I named 2 players in that list. Mika Bierith and Tierno Barry. Tierno Barry at Villarreal scored 2 today. Mika Bierith's been on fire at Monaco. Both of them will come to the Premier League in the next 12 to 18 months, guaranteed. Top young strikers. Tierno Barry's about 6'8". He looks like a basketball player, but he's rapid and he can finish. Having a bev 20 minutes ago. Having a bev 20 minutes ago on a Sunday afternoon? Sacrilege. Although Iriola and Bournemouth play the better football. I think Bournemouth play the better football, and that's probably what would attract your Real Madrid, your Barcelonas, your Liverpools, your teams that want to kind of dominate possession and dominate the ball and take chances, because he's proven he can, when it comes to taking risks, he can create space against that low block. But yes, with it being Bournemouth, he does leave an awful lot of space as well. Whereas Brentford, I think he might be too pragmatic for the Spurs, and it might be a similar problem. If Thomas Frank went to Spurs, I expect it would be a similar sort of problem to what Nuno Santo had at Spurs. Do you know what I mean? Like, Postecoglou's a little bit in the Areola mould in terms of how he plays. He's quite cavalier. He's throws caution to the wind a little bit, and he leaves Spurs vulnerable an awful lot of time. Chance for Villa. It's nearly 4. Just wide. Unlucky. Jacob Ramsey again. Mika needs to come back to Arsenal. I don't understand why Arsenal sold him. Did incredibly well at Sturm Graz, and then he's gone to Monaco and looks a League One player, really good, starting really well. Guess they can't make their minds up about everything and told rubbish by the media, NPC players. It does feel like you speak to some people who they'll see a player score a goal once, or they get, they're a headline once, they'll score a goal in a big game or do something good in a big game, and all of a sudden, they are unbelievable, aren't they? They're unbelievable. But the week after, they'll miss a penalty or miss a chance or get sent off or have just one poor game. They're terrible, them, aren't they? Terrible. There's zero balance to football socials. Zero balance. Have a look at, honestly, if you get the chance, have a look at Tierno Barry's goal today for Villarreal against Getafe. Have a look. Top quality. Guy, he's built like Lassina Traore, but he's got the touch of Dennis Bergkamp. Berbatov. Right, there you go. Full time. What time is it for the City and Bournemouth game? Is that kicking off soon? That's straight after this. What time is it? 4:30. Oh, we've got an hour left. We've got an hour. Okay. Right, well. All right. Well, listen, I will be back. I'll be back for the Bournemouth and Manchester City game at 4:30. Let me know if you're gonna be there for it. Get in the comments. Get on TikTok. Drop me a message, Kane. I'll message you about what we were talking about before. And yeah, been a great game. Aston Villa through to the semi-finals. Big performance. Good win. And Villa will be in the semi-final draw with Bournemouth, maybe. City, maybe. Nottingham Forest and Palace. So it's Villa, Palace, Forest, and one of Bournemouth and City, which we'll see in a little while. In an hour's time, that game kicks off. So I'll be back at about 4:15. Come and join me. We'll be live for that one. So I'll see you in a little bit.